May 4, 2024. Saturday of the 5th week of Easter. A reading from the Acts of the Apostles. Paul reached also Derbe and Lystra, where there was a disciple named Timothy, the son of a Jewish woman who was a believer, but his father was a Greek. The brothers in Lystra and Iconium spoke highly of him, and Paul wanted him to come along with him. On account of the Jews of that region, Paul had him circumcised, for they all knew that his father was a Greek. As they traveled from city to city, they handed on to the people for observance the decisions reached by the apostles and presbyters in Jerusalem. Day after day the churches grew stronger in faith and increased in number. They traveled through the Phrygian and Galatian territory, because they had been prevented by the Holy Spirit from preaching the message in the province of Asia. When they came to Mysia, they tried to go on into Bithynia, but the Spirit of Jesus did not allow them. So they crossed through Mysia and came down to Troas. During the night Paul had a vision. A Macedonian stood before him and implored him with these words, "Come over to Macedonia and help us." When he had seen the vision, we sought passage to Macedonia at once, concluding that God had called us to proclaim the good news to them. The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Respond is, let all the earth cry out to God with joy. Sing joyfully to the Lord, all you lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful song. Let all the earth cry out to God with joy. Know that the Lord is God. He made us, his we are. His people, the flock he tends. Let all the earth cry out to God with joy. The Lord is good. His kindness endures forever, and his faithfulness, to all generations. Let all the earth cry out to God with joy. Alleluia, Alleluia. If then you were raised with Christ, seek what is above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Alleluia, Alleluia. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John. Jesus said to his disciples, "If the world hates you, realize that it hated me first. If you belonged to the world would love its own. But because you do not belong to the world, and I have chosen you out of the world hates you. Remember the word I spoke to you. No slave is greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours. And they will do all these things to you on account of my name, because they do not know the one who sent me." The Gospel of the Lord. Reflection. Saturday, 5th week of Easter. We are given a sense in today's first reading of Paul's mission being directed by the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the risen Lord. They traveled in response to the promptings of the Spirit. At the end of the reading, the Spirit communicates with Paul through the medium of a vision. One night, while Paul was in Troas on the northwest coast of modern Turkey, he had a vision. Someone from the Roman province of Macedonia, northern Greece today, appeared to him and appealed to him in these words, "Come across to Macedonia and help us." Paul promptly responded to this invitation and it resulted in the gospel being preached on the continent of Europe for the first time. The Spirit continues to guide the Church today. We are aware that we are in a time of great transition in the Church. It can be an unsettling time, but it is also an exciting time. We can be sure that the Spirit will direct us in these days. The Spirit is always at work in the life of the Church, and in our own personal lives, bringing new life out of death, opening up new opportunities when past opportunities seem to have run their course. In the Gospel reading, Jesus alerts us to the likelihood that his disciples, the Church, will experience the same hostility and persecution as he did. As he says, "A servant is not greater than his master." We are all trying to be the Lord's servants, and Jesus says plainly that if they persecuted him they will persecute his servants. Yet, just as the Spirit was with Jesus in his moments of struggle, so the same Spirit is with his Church, all of us, in our moments of struggle, and we can trust the Spirit to bring us to where the Lord wants to take us. What the Lord needs from us is a willingness to be brought where the Spirit is leading us. This is something we all need to pray for at this time.